You just became the manager of a coffee company. Congratulations. You're now in charge of one of the most popular products on earth. People drink coffee every morning. Coffee shops are everywhere. Customers seem willing to pay several dollars for a single cup. At first, the business looks incredibly simple. Buy coffee, sell coffee, make profit. Easy. Or at least that's what you think on your first day. Then you discover something surprising. Your business doesn't actually start in your coffee shop. It starts on a farm, thousands of miles away. While you're sitting in your office planning promotions and sales, farmers are growing the beans that your entire company depends on. And that's when your first problem appears. You don't control the weather. A drought can reduce harvests. Heavy rain can damage crops. Plant diseases can spread through entire regions. And somehow, all of those things can end up affecting your profits. Suddenly, managing a coffee company doesn't feel like managing coffee anymore. It feels like managing uncertainty. You quickly learn an important lesson. Before you manage customers, stores, or marketing, you're managing a supply chain. And if that supply chain breaks, nothing else matters. Then comes your first real crisis. One morning, reports arrive from major coffee-producing regions. Harvests are lower than expected. Supply is tightening. Coffee bean prices start rising. Your costs increase almost immediately. The problem is that customers don't care. They still expect the same coffee at the same price. Now you're forced to make a difficult decision. Do you increase prices? Do you accept lower profits? Or do you search for cheaper suppliers? None of the options feel good. Raise prices and customers may complain. Accept lower profits and the business suffers. Buy cheaper beans and quality might drop. For the first time, you realize something important. A coffee company isn't just selling drinks. It's constantly balancing difficult trade-offs. And your next challenge proves exactly that. As bean prices rise, your purchasing team presents two options. The first option is cheaper beans. The numbers look great. Profit margins improve, costs fall. Everyone in accounting is happy. The second option is premium beans. They cost more. Margins shrink. But customers will likely notice the difference. Now you have to decide, do you optimize for profit or do you optimize for quality? Many businesses face this exact choice. Some compete by being the cheapest. Others compete by being the best. Trying to be both is often much harder than it sounds. As you wrestle with that decision, you discover another surprising truth. The coffee bean itself isn't where most of the value comes from. Imagine buying a raw green coffee bean. By itself, it isn't very exciting. Customers wouldn't line up to buy it. But then, it's roasted, packaged, branded, distributed, presented beautifully. Now, customers are willing to pay far more. The bean didn't become valuable on its own. Value was created around it, and that's one of the biggest lessons in business. Products create opportunities. Transformation creates profit. As your company grows, you become obsessed with making great coffee. You improve roasting. You improve sourcing. You improve quality. Then something unexpected happens. Sales don't increase as much as you hoped. That's when you learn another lesson. Customers don't buy coffee for coffee alone. They buy convenience. They buy consistency. They buy familiarity. They buy trust. Think about it. Two coffee shops can serve nearly identical coffee, yet one is packed while the other is empty. Why? Because customers are often choosing the experience, not just the drink. Your brand starts to matter. Your reputation starts to matter. The way customers feel when they walk into your store starts to matter. You finally understand that marketing isn't about convincing people to buy. It's about helping people remember why they should choose you. Soon your stores become busier. At first, this feels like success. More customers, more sales, more revenue. But growth creates a new set of problems. Machines break. Milk runs out. Employees call in sick. Deliveries arrive late. One missing ingredient can disrupt an entire day. A crowded morning rush can become chaos within minutes. Customers only see the front counter. You see everything happening behind it. And that's when you learn that great businesses are often built on boring things. Inventory management, scheduling, maintenance, training, forecasting. None of those things sound exciting, but all of them determine whether the business succeeds. Eventually, one store becomes 2, then 3, then 5, then 10. Revenue climbs higher than ever. You feel successful until you realize that managing 10 stores is nothing like managing 1. Problems multiply. Communication becomes harder, costs increase, Mistakes become more expensive. A bad decision that affects one store is annoying. A bad decision that affects 10 stores is dangerous. Many businesses discover this too late. Growing bigger doesn't automatically make a company better. In fact, growth often reveals weaknesses that were invisible before. You begin to understand that success isn't measured by how fast you grow. It's measured by how well you can handle growth. Then another challenge appears. This one is bigger than prices, bigger than operations, bigger than expansion. The future of coffee itself. Coffee farms face increasing pressure. Weather patterns are changing. Growing conditions are becoming less predictable. Farmers face rising costs. Some leave the industry entirely. For years, you viewed suppliers as people who sold you coffee. Now you see them differently. They're partners in your survival. Because if coffee farms struggle, coffee companies eventually struggle too. You start thinking differently. Not about next month, not about next quarter, but about the next decade. How do you protect your supply? How do you support the people producing your coffee? How do you ensure the business still exists years from now? The longer you manage the company, the more your perspective changes. When you first started, you thought you were entering the coffee business. Now you know better. Most of your time isn't spent thinking about coffee. It's spent thinking about risk, supply chains, employees, operations, marketing, customer expectations, planning, problem solving. Coffee is simply the product connecting all those systems together. And that's the final lesson. A coffee company isn't really a coffee company. It's a giant network of people, processes, and decisions working together every day. The coffee is what customers see. The system behind it is what keeps the business alive. And if you've successfully managed all of that, congratulations. You've learned what it really means to run a coffee company.